Here's a fun thought experiment. You wake up tomorrow and realize you'll never die. Not in a spiritual way, not metaphorically, literally never. Your cells won't decay. Time can't touch you. You're immortal. Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Infinite time to master piano, read every book, watch every sunset. But here's the twist nobody mentions. What if living forever is the worst thing that could ever happen to you? Right now, somewhere in a lab, scientists are racing toward immortality. By 2040, they say. CRISPR editing your genes like a Word document, senolytics flushing out your dying cells, AI designing drugs that rewind your biological clock. We're not talking about living to 120. We're talking about 500 years, maybe more, maybe forever. And sure, at first, it sounds magnificent. Imagine having centuries to become the person you always wanted to be. Learn Mandarin, master astrophysics, finally finish that novel. Watch your great-great-great-grandchildren grow up. The universe becomes your playground. But here's what they don't tell you in the brochures. After about 200 years, you've done everything. Twice. You've read every book worth reading, visited every corner of Earth, had every conversation worth having. You've watched trends cycle through like seasons, fashion, music, politics, all returning in slightly different packaging, and you start to realize something deeply unsettling. You're not collecting experiences anymore. You're just existing. The Greeks understood this. They made their gods immortal but endlessly petty, bored, meddling in human affairs for entertainment. Because what else is there to do when you've got infinite time? Even paradise gets dull when you can't leave. And then there's everyone else. Your parents die, your friends die, your children die, your children's children die. You fall in love and you watch them age while you don't. You hold their hand as they take their last breath, knowing you'll never join them. Then you do it again and again. You become a ghost haunting your own life, collecting graves like stamps. But let's zoom out. Imagine the world itself, 10 billion immortals and counting. Nobody dying means nobody leaving. Every resource, food, water, space, jobs, stretched infinitely thin. Who gets to eat? Who gets to have children, if anyone? Because if nobody dies, how can anyone new be born? The economy freezes. The same people hold power for centuries. The same billionaires, the same politicians, the same ideas, calcified into permanence. No generational change, no fresh perspectives. Just an eternal gerontocracy, where the young, if they even exist, can never inherit the earth. And here's the cruelest part. Immortality won't be for everyone. It'll be expensive, a privilege for the ultra-wealthy. Imagine a world split between the eternals and the ephemerals, the ones who live forever and the ones who still die. How long before mortal becomes an insult? How long before natural death is seen as failure, as poverty, as something shameful? You'd create a caste system that could never be broken. Because how do you compete with someone who has 500 years of experience? How do you build wealth when the wealthy never die, never spend, never pass anything down? Immortality wouldn't liberate humanity. It would bury it under its own weight. Now let's talk about what happens inside your head, because this is where immortality becomes truly horrifying. Your brain isn't designed for forever. It's designed for maybe 80 years of memories, tops. So what happens when you hit year 300, year 1000? Do you start forgetting? Your childhood fades first, then your first love, then your children's faces. You become a stranger to your own history. Or worse, you remember everything. Every loss, every failure, every person you couldn't save. 1,000 years of grief, compounding like interest, crushing you under the weight of your own past. There's a philosophy called the ship of Theseus. If you replace every plank of a ship over time, is it still the same ship? Now apply that to yourself. After 500 years, every cell in your body has been replaced 100 times over. Your personality has shifted with every decade. Your values have changed, your sense of humor, your fears, your desires. So who are you, really? Are you still the person who pressed the button for immortality? Or are you something else entirely? A ship of Theseus wearing a name tag that no longer fits? And here's the existential nightmare. Meaning requires endings. A story without a final chapter isn't a story. It's just noise. Think about it. Why does a vacation feel special? Because it ends. Why is a childhood memory precious? Because you can't return to it. Why does love matter? Because it's fragile, finite, impermanent. But if you live forever, nothing ends. Relationships become transactions. Achievements lose their weight. What's the point of working towards something when you have infinite time to do it? Urgency dies, passion fades. You stop trying because there's always tomorrow, and another tomorrow, and another. The ancient philosopher Epicurus argued that death gives life meaning, that the knowledge of our mortality is what makes us treasure our days, love fiercely, create desperately. Remove death and you remove the very thing that makes us human. Imagine loving someone for 60 years, then watching them die, then doing it again and again. Eventually, you'd stop. You'd have to. The pain of losing everyone you love over and over would become unbearable. So you'd close yourself off, stop forming connections, become emotionally numb just to survive. And in a world where everyone is immortal, does empathy even exist anymore? Does suffering matter when there's infinite time to recover? Death unites us. It's the one thing every human shares, the great equalizer. But if some of us never die, we lose that bond. We stop being a community and become something colder, something alien. The psychologist Viktor Frankl said that life's meaning comes from what we choose to do with the time we have. But what do you choose when you have all the time in the world? When there's no deadline, no stakes, no end? You drift. You languish. You become a ghost in your own existence, going through the motions of living without ever truly being alive. So here's the truth we've been dancing around. Immortality isn't a gift, it's a cage. The price of living forever is losing everything that makes life worth living. Maybe the real immortality isn't in our cells, it's in our impact, the stories we tell, the kindness we leave behind, the way we change someone's life in the brief, blazing moment we're here. We're not meant to last forever, we're meant to matter. And perhaps that's enough. Perhaps the beauty of life is that it ends, that we get this one brief, ridiculous chance to exist, and what we do with it echoes longer than any heartbeat ever could.